it's Lori with Fluid Artistry by Lori. Thanks for stopping by my studio today. I'm glad you did. I've got another resin project going here today. I've got some letters in this mold, and I filled them up halfway with resin, everything except for the R. I forgot the R, I missed it somehow. But anyway, they're halfway filled up with clear resin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a two-tone, little bit of a stained glass look to them. I'm going to use my Cerne Relief outliner. This one is in the imitation lead color. And then I'm going to paint half with vitrail paint, and other half with matching glitter. So what I've got is the Pebeo vitrail paints, which work great for this. I'm going to use it straight out of the bottle. This one is called Crimson. You may have, if you saw my resin video with the ornaments, the Christmas ornaments, I used this color for them, and the same color of glitter, the glow-in-the-dark glitter from Let's Resin. I just love this stuff. It's got so many different chunky pieces and little pieces and just so much shine. It's awesome. And I've also got the Rose, which is a pink, and I'm going to put the Let's Resin pink glitter with that one. And this is turquoise. I don't have turquoise glitter in any of my glitters, so I'm going to use this sky blue, which I think will complement it well because it's got different shades in there too. I got these vitriol paints from Michael's, and they came in a set of 6. I've just started using them, so I only have a limited amount of colors right now, but I will be getting more for sure. But it came with these 3 colors of the paint, and then it came with these 3 Prismacolors, the fantasy colors. They tend to dry with a little bit more texture. I haven't seen actual cells yet, but some say that they get cells from using these. But anyway, this came with the eggshell white, which is, they're also metallics. And this one is the turquoise. And this one is the antique gold. I'm not going to be using those today on these. I'm just going to stick with the regular paints and the glitter. This mold actually came with some little eyelets that can screw in, so I will use my Dremel and drill a little hole somewhere in each one, and put the little screw in the little eye hole. And then it also came with some chains and key rings. There's not a whole lot of them with that set, so I won't have enough that came with this, but you can also get them in the findings department and jewelry department of any of your craft stores. Again, I do Michael's. I earn rewards, I get coupons, and they mail it right to me within a few days. So I kind of like that. So most of the time I go to Michael's for this stuff. I am going to be trying some other places too, but I like Michael's. I like their prices with the coupons and the deals. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my outliner, and I'm going to separate these all in half somewhere. I'm just going to kind of wing it. And then I will let this dry a little bit, so it's going to at least not move around a lot. And then I will put the vitriol on the one side and the glitter on the other. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed through this for you, so you don't have to sit and watch me. And then I will come back to you when I get ready to paint. So I just found a center spot in each one of the letters, and just kind of decided wherever I wanted to go with the line. Each one is different, of course, because the letters are all different, but I tried to keep them so they weren't as straight across. And we're going to let them dry for a little bit, and I'll be back in about an hour or so. At some point anyway. It'll only be a second for you. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. It's been about an hour, and the outliner is dry. It's dry enough to work with anyway. I want it to let, I wouldn't put resin on it yet. I would want it to cure a few more hours, I think, before, probably about 4 hours anyway, before I would resin it. You got to be sure everything's cured and all of the moisture is out before you put resin on and lock it in. But anyway, it's dry enough to put the paints in. So I'm going to just take a toothpick here and stir up the paint. And then I'm just going to use a paintbrush, and I'm going to paint this on just on the resin part. Kind of want to just dab it in, trying to keep the bubbles down. They do generally, most of them pop, but I like to keep the bubbles down anyway, just in case they don't. This is going to be time consuming, but this is what I enjoy doing this. I guess you have to like it in order to do this kind of thing. But what I'll do is I'm just going to do a third of them with the red, a third of them with the pink, and a third of them with the turquoise. And then I will speed it up through that, and I will come back to you and tell you how I'm going to do the glitter. Okay, so the paint's done. Now it's time for the glitter. I did go around some of the edges of the mold and the letters with a Q-tip and a little alcohol and cleaned up some of the edges where I went out of the lines, especially with the red. I got better at it as I went along. Anything you do, if you haven't done it in a while, or if it's your first time or whatever, it's going to get better as you go along. At least that's the hope. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to mix the glitter into a paste-like consistency, and I'm going to do one color at a time, but I'm mixing it with my polyurethane. I've got the Varathane Ultimate Polyurethane water-based in a crystal clear gloss, and I've got little paper cups, bathroom cups. I'm using the back side of them, the bottom, because I just need a little bit. I don't want to fill a whole cup or anything like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the polyurethane on the top of the cup. And I'm going to mix, and I might want a little more. Got a whole row of letters to do with each of these colors, so I'm going to put some of the glitter in. I'm going to start with the ruby red. And what you're hearing in the background is I have an office chair with wheels that I sit in when I'm doing this kind of thing, and I'm rolling around to get to all of my stuff. That's that noise in the background. Anyway, here's this, and a toothpick. Toothpicks are kind of handy for this. I'm just going to mix it up so that the glitter can actually stick to these letters. And the polyurethane does dry clear. So I know it looks milky white right now, but it won't stay that way. And it's still a little bit runny, so I'm going to put a little bit more glitter in there because I kind of want the glitter kind of thick. You can do whatever you want, you know, you don't have to make it thick. You can do just a fine little bit with less glitter, more polyurethane, so that you have just a little bit of glitter with some clear shining through. You know, I mean the light will shine through it, but I want it kind of opaque. I don't mind if the light shines through it a little bit because it just gives the glitter a little more sparkle, of course, but I kind of want to see the sparkle. I want to see the glitter. Now, I've seen some people apply this with the Q-tip or the toothpick, and some people apply it with a paintbrush. I've tried both. I prefer the paintbrush. I have some cheap paintbrushes that I use for this kind of thing because you don't want to use expensive ones. They kind of get messed up. But anyway, just going to scoop some out, put it in here, and kind of pat it around. So that it's actually flat and it's not chunky. I mean, I want to see the glitter, but I don't need it to be layered in chunks. And once I do this, I'll go on to the next color, and I'll do this all the way through. And let it dry for a few hours. And then put a top coat of clear resin on, and they're done. This is the fun part right here, and this is the time-consuming part right here. But that's, you know, what makes the letters. That's what makes it look pretty, I think. So I'm going to, now that you kind of know what I'm doing here, I'm not going to keep you here and watching me do all of these because that would be silly. I wouldn't have anybody left by the time I got to the Z. And I will be back. Actually, there's no point in showing you, you know, the top coat of resin either. It's just going to be clear resin going over it all once this is all dry. So I'll be back to show you how I put the key ring on. Okay? I'm back. Let's finish up these keychains here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with, we're going to drill a hole, and I like to drill it a little bit off center here. So I got my little Dremel here with my little drill bit. So I don't know if you can, let's see, can you see this? So I've got a little hole to start. It's a small drill bit. You want to make sure it's smaller than the hook rings that you have. And I've got these little hook ring here. And I'm going to just take a hold of the top part here with my pliers, needle nose pliers for jewelry making. Put it in the hole. I'll start it. Get it started. And take the pliers. You don't want to screw it in too far because you don't want to strip the hole so that it stays in well. So now we have a little hook. Just take one of these rings here and slip it through the hook. And I have the keychain with the chain right on it, a little bit of a chain on it. And I can connect it there too. And then just take another little pliers. And turn it till it's connected. Maneuver it so that it's together properly. I like to straighten it out just like this, and then tighten it just a little bit, make sure it's as close together as it can be. And there it is. That's it. It's completed. Thanks for hanging with me. I know this was a process, but they're a lot of fun, and you can be as creative as you want with them. I enjoy it. So there it is. I have a lot more to do. Different designs. I have some other ones over on the other shelf that I'll be putting together as well. It's a fun thing to do with your leftover resin or as a project all on its own. Thanks for hanging with me. They're a fun project. Try it. It's fun. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye.